Hello, everybody. How you doing? Uh, just want to get in touch with you guys and present to you today my presentation. I just want to let you guys all know I did my presentation paper on the social adjustment of at-risk technology education students. And here is my presentation. These are just the topics that I included in the presentation as required by Dr. Deemer. And I'm not going to read through all those, but that's just like a little table of contents for you to take a quick peek at. Hello, my name is Joseph Mikulak. I am in your class, and just wanted to let you guys know that there's a hot topic right now in technology education, and that's why I did this presentation and paper on in regards to the topic that you'll see today. All right, and that's a picture of me building something for my church earlier this week. Okay, let's move on. So, what is the problem? Research questions, hypothesis. Why is this study important? We're going to address that first. This scholarly article was retrieved from a Journal of Technology Education, which is a professional organization that I'm a part of, and they do scholarly journals every 4 months, so 3 times a year. And the overall problem was they wanted to go ahead and reach out and find what's going on in public education with the difficulties challenging the educational system for students who are at risk, particularly technology education students. And we're going to go into that a little bit more as to the next slides here as they go along. So the title of the article is The Social Adjustment of At-Risk Technology Education Students. I believe that the hypothesis that the author was trying to come up with here was there's a lack of social competence with at-risk students, and how technology and engineering education classes could be a great resource for further developing of the social adjustment issues that these students are having. And then the overall goal is to find out what's going on in this topic area in the technology education classes and how maybe we can solve it or help alleviate the problem. Okay, so that's just a little intro as far as the what the problem is and the hypothesis and that kind of stuff. Okay, so let's move on. There are 2 general questions that this study looks at. First one is are there differences in social competence between technology education students considered at risk versus the normal student or normal education student? Okay. And the second question is there a competence measure association between social competence subscale elements? And there's 4 of them. There were self-control, peer relations, school adjustment, and empathy. Comparing that with technology education students versus the normal sample of population of students in a school system. Okay, so let's move on. So why is this study important? The study is very important overall because we need to go in to see like how we can help these types of students who are at risk with their self-esteem, social skills, and things like that are not fully developed at their age that they currently are at. Also, there is a lack of sufficient studies addressing the at-risk students in the technology education classroom. So it would be nice to have more, more data and more information in trying to see, what are the root causes of this problem. And just a little note there, this problem obviously, flows into the general education classes that you all are teaching as well. Okay. But this particular study just focused in on technology education classes. So why else is it important? The students, their feelings of social isolation and emotional needs are not being adequately met. All right. Also, it's having an impact on students who have different types of disabilities that we'll see here throughout this presentation today. Okay. Whether it be SEL students who are physically disabled, academically disabled, those types of things. Okay, so let's move on. So just a quick little review so that you guys all can get an idea, like what is technology education and also engineering education. So we adapted. We used to be called SHOP back in the day, and then we changed our name to Tech Ed, also known as Technology Education. Then it changed again to Technology Engineering Education. Basically, what we teach is exactly what we've been seeing the push for across America with the STEM methods. Okay, we are STEM. We've been STEM for decades, and we use tools, machines, materials. We have students, team up, collaborate together, make many different projects, use the problem-solving process and designing process. And, we believe in application, and we believe in taking theories and putting them to life and applying them to everyday life. And that's what we're seeing now in education today. We're getting away from the teacher in front of the classroom for 42 minutes teaching to, the teacher is just, teaching for a short, brief time, and then students are collaborating. That's what my district wants, and that's what I see in a lot of other school districts. So this is a hot topic right now for us. Okay, let's move on. So who participated in this study, and what did they do? The study participants in this study were 2 selected technology education students or teachers and 120 students. All right. Okay. So what method did they use for this study? Well, there's this questionnaire. It's called, I learned through this study, it's called the Walker-McConnell Scale of Social Competence. Okay. And basically it's a long questionnaire. There's 53 questions, and you can rate them 1 through 5. All right. And the students had to complete all 53 different areas in regards to topics of self-control, peer relations, school adjustment, empathy, those types of things. Okay. I did not see all the questions that they were required to answer, but that's just a general overview as to, what the methodology was for how they found the data for this. Okay, so let's go to section 3. Section 3 is what are the main findings or the implications of the findings, the suggestions, the conclusions, and the justification of all this. All right, so let's look at that first. So research question 1, are there differences in social competence between technology education students and their regular normative student sample? The study reveals evidence that there was a significant difference between a normal sample of students and a sample of technology education students who are at risk. Question number 2, is there a competence measure association between social competence subscales for technology education students identified as at risk compared to the normal sample? And the research did reveal that there are several large identifiable associations. Okay, so the 2 questions there, the research questions, were proven through the study that they are having an effect on these types of students who are at risk. Okay, now let's move on to the next slide here. And I just want to let you guys know I do have a lot of information packed in here, but I'm only going to hit the highlights in the bold sections. Okay, so the implications of the findings. The study revealed several implications. Technology education programs have historically attracted at-risk students and have received little attention regarding their influence on at-risk students. So I would say that's true up until now. Technology education programs, we see a lot of students, and we see a lot of students who are at risk. And a lot of those students identify very well with our subject area that we teach. So, with the push for STEM now across America, and that, like, this is our time in technology education to go ahead and, get a name for ourselves in helping this problematic area with students who are at risk. Okay, implication number 2. Let's go ahead and hit that up real quick. The study identified very identifiable social competence and school adjustment differences. Okay, it can be concluded that at-risk technology education students have significantly lower social competence than the normal sample. Okay, implication number 3 that I have here is the research also revealed that out of those 50, I think it was 53 questions, 47 of them were drastically different. Okay, so 6 of the 53 were the same compared to the normal sample. So there's a big gap there where students, really need to excel in, and that's what this research was all about as far as the social competence. Okay. Implication number 4, I think this is the last one here, says that the research also identifies technology education courses to be an avenue for students who are considered at risk. Okay, and I've seen that over my 18 years of teaching now in technology education. They really do identify with our classes and the curriculum that we teach. Okay, suggestions. The author does suggest a recommendation for conducting future research to further investigate this study and trying to solve the root causes of this problem. Further study highlighting at-risk students course selection has the potential to enhance service to technology education subgroups, positioning the profession to aid students in struggling in other areas of education and life as well. So, if we can kind of focus in on in our area for tech ed on this, and help these students out with their social incompetence, that will, lead into the general education classes as well. Okay, conclusion and justification. All right, so this is concluding the study itself. So, upon reviewing the 2011 Prabel and Gordon study that we have talked about here in the last few moments, I would agree with the study's, data and what they have come up with, and I also believe that the author's conclusions are justified as well. Up next, section 4 is a section that I really enjoyed. I know research can be boring. This topic is not boring to me because it's technology and engineering education. But you can really get lost in the data and get bogged down. So this section here was section number 4, and I really enjoyed this one. It was about finding the virtual classroom applications and how we can implement those into the classrooms that we teach, online classrooms, and also the technology tools that we can implement into the online classroom as well. So this section addresses that. Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll bust that section out next. Okay, so this individual difference could impact students in the virtual classroom in positive and also in negative ways. The findings to the above research results can be applicable to my virtual classrooms, since these types of at-risk students exist in my personal classroom as well. I teach in the Poconos, and we are very close to New York. And I've been here 18 years at Stroudsburg School District. And, the demographics every year keep changing. We have a lot of city kids coming in every year. And we have, latchkey kids, parents who are going to New York to work, but coming back to Pennsylvania to live. And the demographics have definitely changed throughout the last 18 years. Okay, so I would say that my school district's profile, okay, with it being, a lot of students who are at risk, have many different issues, and also, low income. I believe that my district and this study align with each other very well. So I really identified very well with this study in regards to my teaching situation. Okay, so ways in which I can respond include the following. So first, I think one thing I need to do is, obviously reach out more to at-risk students and their parents. I'm guilty of that. Just, it's been crazy the last 2 years, as you guys all know, with teaching. But I can do better in that area. I teach about 27 to 30 kids in one class. It's a high energy class. Kids using tools and machines and materials, and that's one area where I could open up and reach out more to parents and students. Secondly, I have already started to develop a monthly newsletter, which is something new to me that I've learned through the class. Actually, this class here. So I started producing one of those. I need to continue number 3 here, where it says updating hands-on projects so that they fit into the online environment. That's a daunting task. I've been working on that for about a year and a half now. But taking all my curriculum, all my materials, and modifying it and changing it to fit the online learner. And as you guys are doing the same, you're learning and you're seeing all the different things and ways we can implement it. And, it's pretty cool. We're getting there. but it does take a lot of time as far as transitioning over to that. Bullet point number 4 here, it says, fourth, I will integrate online collaboration assignments. My class is highly collaborative when it's in the physical, face-to-face format. However, I'm learning and working to converting it into the online collaboration. All right, so this is my third grad course with Millersville, and I'm starting to learn how to incorporate and switch over to that. It's very difficult to have that switch over, being that my kids use a lot of tools, machinery, and materials. So I have to get creative in the assignments that I pick for them and make sure that they still identify and address their current curriculum, but in a different type of a project. Number 5, the fifth thing I need to continue to do is just, look at students' IEPs, see where they're lacking and where they, need help with, and modify my resources to match that. Okay. Next, tech tool implementation. So, like I said a little bit ago, this class is my third grad course with the Millersville University for the ACTE program. And just in the 3 classes, I have learned a lot about the different technology online tools. Okay, so there is a wide variety of technology tools that I've been learning about, and I need to implement into my online classes. Okay, so some of these tools really have a lot of impact that I'm learning about, and I'm seeing that will, be beneficial to me in my online classes. Okay, so tech tool implementation. So, I've seen so far well over 50 different online tools and apps that I have seen through these grad courses. The ones that I have listed down here at the bottom, the tech tools that will help me in considering this differences in social adjustment of students who are at risk. The ones that I have, bolded down here are ones that I really have been enjoying using lately, and that I need to, just convert over into my online platform. So, you can see them all on here. I'm not going to read them all off, but that Go Formative was one that I think really has an impact. For anyone who doesn't know what Go Formative is, basically it's your students are on the computers and they're working on something on the computer, and you're the master teacher on the other side of the screen, and you can see every one of the students' screens as they're working on whatever the activity or project that you are assigned to them. So it's like kind of like you have your screen, and then you see 24 other screens on your computer, and you can monitor students and check their work and all that stuff. I learned that from my wife, who was actually also using GoFormative in her math teaching classes as well. Okay, so Slides Mania is a presentation tool for delivering presentations. They are very interactive. Also, Slides Go is another good one too, and they just have a really good impact on students' learning, I believe, compared to your traditional Microsoft PowerPoints and even your Google Slide general presentations. Okay, so how about this one? Social emotional learning. Want to see some cool add-on apps? Here they are: Grackle, Read and Write Nobility. Okay, Announcify over here, Text Help, Read and Write. Okay, those were all different, add-on tools that you can get from the Google Suite in regards to, social emotional learning, students who are visually have impairments, hearing impairments, obviously learning disabilities, those types of things. So I can't go in and talk about each one of those because I don't want this presentation to get too much longer. But I encourage you to check those out for social emotional learning apps. Okay, Paradex, another great one I've been learning how to use. Tinkercad is also another one as far as drawing online program for 3D software modeling design. Okay, so those are just some of them that I'm going to be implementing or have been implementing into my online classes, and these are some of them that will help address this issue and problem with social incompetence of at-risk technology education students. Okay, last. This is number 5, everybody. So this last section is in regards to taking the research findings that we learned from this study here, and also linking the course information that we've learned in this ACTE 633 class, and also taking the INACOL framework studies, or my bad, standards, and linking all this together into how does this apply to this research presentation that I'm giving you today. Okay, so here we go. So the research findings to the Prabel and Gordon study above coupled with all the online tools that I've learned so far, and also the information in this 633 class, can come together and help address the situation of at-risk students who are socially incompetent and need to work on, their social skills. Okay, so here are some of the ways. Okay, so some of the topics learned from this course that relate to this study also include, I found out that the UDL concepts were very important, uh, providing a wide variety of choices, engaging lessons, assessments, digital notebooks, ways to connect to the digital student, also graphic organizers, project-based learning, obviously, and collaborative and teamwork assignments, and how to increase parent and learning coach communications. Okay, so some of those were linked to the study, some of those were linked to the class here that we're all enrolled in, and this all can be linked into my online technology education classes as well. Okay, all right, so the other one was, in addition to this, the special needs and accommodation information resources can directly be tied to this study in a major way. I really got some good beneficial information in regards to the special needs students from this topics from this class. Also, to be honest with you, I'm not a big reader, but the Jukes textbook I actually enjoy. Number one, it's not that thick. Okay, so it's about maybe a half-inch thick, but the information in there is short and sweet. Okay, and it's definitely pertinent information that's going to apply to today's 21st century digital students. Okay, so the Jukes readings were very, very informational as well. All right, let's move on and try to link in the standards here, and then we'll have a conclusion and we'll call it a day. Okay, all right, so here's what I have here. So as teachers, we need to prepare our students with the 21st century skills that they will need for today's workforce requirements. After reviewing the INACOL standards and linking it to the study above, I can probably closely link about 9 of the standards to this study and to, my general teaching of technology and engineering education applications in my classroom. All right. So I'm not going to go through all 9 of these standards, but what I did was I just highlighted some of the bold words in here that stuck out. So, collaboration, student needs, teamwork, problem solving, assessing student progress, evaluate evaluative technologies, tools, and instructional strategies to work independently or in cooperative groups. Okay, that's another standard that we addressed here. Also, asynchronous and synchronous modalities as well. And then also, once again, online collaborative tools here in Domain 4. So those are just some of the framework standards that this research topic and the things that we learn in this class and how to apply it into my technology and engineering education classes. All right. And then final thought here, everybody. So overall, in conclusion to this applied research paper, this topic has shed some light on some challenging issues in technology education and the regular education school program and how it is rapidly growing. After closely analyzing the above study, looking at its results, and linking it to the ACTE 633 course information to both the study and the applied research paper, it is very clear that everyone involved in the K through 12 public education system needs to assess where they are with trying to help alleviate this issue and combat the social adjustment of at-risk students in each of our classrooms. Although we can see that technology education courses help improve social adjustments, we need to expand beyond this subject area, okay, if we are going to try to help rectify this problem. So this presentation paper and study primarily focused here today on, my subject area, technology and engineering education. However, if we can spill this over into the general education classrooms, then we can have an impact on the overall educational system throughout the actual country. Okay, so hopefully with time, more research, and shifting our focus, we can finally solve issues such as this one that we are facing here in the 21st century in regards to the digital students of today. All right. So thank you very much. Resource page here. Anyone who wants to see it, I'm going to have this all in a PDF format for anyone who would like to see my slides and all that. And then at the end here, this was produced by SlidesGo presentations. Okay, so I think that's it for today, guys. I wish you all the best of luck. Have a um, good holiday season. And I just need to figure out how to turn this off, and I'll see you guys online, okay?